Hi, Beth.
Hi. So how are you? How are you both doing today?
Hanging in there. Good.
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 End of the week, so we're good. Things
Amen.
can settle.
Is it cool if I jump right in?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. So first off, I just want to get a little bit of a backstory on the two of you and your partnership. So how did you two meet and then ultimately become partners?
Sure. Um, I was the executive director at Napa Valley Film Festival for 8 years. Julie and I met there originally. She, came on to kind of help me there. I was actually laughing because I looked right behind me right now and I have a picture of us. We met at an Oscar party down in LA, before, she really started working for me at the festival. So it's Oscar weekend. I was just thinking about that myself, but
Memories.
yeah, when we met, it was funny because we ended up living kind of across the street from each other without realizing it as well. And then through the time that we were there working together, I was going through IVF and my journey to motherhood, and both got pregnant at the same time. And so, kind of going on that journey together, left in 2019 and launched our business, Shella Productions, which is our production company. Wrote a TV series called Uncredited and shot a proof of concept pilot. Julie is an incredible actress. She starred in it, and it was my first directorial debut. We shot that and took that out on the festival circuit and realized that it was really hard to get a 30-minute proof of concept into any type of festival, when everything was still very much traditional feature films and short films only. And so that kind of led to us building out not only our production company, but now Napa Valley StreamFest. We came back to Napa and our roots here, and yeah, so that was last year was our first year.
That's awesome. That's awesome. What ultimately inspired the creation of Napa Valley Stream Fest?
Oh goodness, so much. But ultimately, that festival circuit that Farron mentioned that we went on ourselves was illuminating. It was fun. It was exciting. We met so many great people, but we came away from it. I want to say it probably was the start of it was in Denver. We were in Denver for a film festival and we were sitting in our hotel room and we were kind of like, oh, this is cool and this is cool. And I like what they did here. And obviously, coming from a prominent film festival, boutique, but luxury film festival, and Farron having, planned every event and the experience for all the guests, she's coming at it from like probably a maybe a more critical lens and being like, well, I would have done this. And she also was and has been an amazing event producer for 25 plus years running her own business. So as a filmmaker, kind of first, I was like, yeah, you're right. That is interesting. And we kind of analyzed what other festivals were doing and obviously looking at what we had done at the Napa Valley Film Festival. And we were like, huh, okay, but where are we now in the landscape of like digital media? Where are we now in storytelling and where are we going? Because when Farron brought it up, like we could probably do this. We could probably start a festival. I was like, okay, yeah. And she's like, no, but think about it. Like if we did XYZ and it's one theater and it's you're not waiting in line and you buy a pass and you actually get into everything. And I was like, oh, what a concept. Because the festivals we had gone on or gone to, there was a lot of this cherry picking of like who's allowed to get in. And even if you were there as a filmmaker, some festivals treat you amazing and you're VIP. Other festivals is like you're just another pass holder, and that's fine. But we wanted to create something that was not only for the filmmakers and the artists that are coming, the creators, but also for the fans. So not just looking to cater to one specific niche within the film festival model. We wanted to sort of appeal to everyone. So as much as that's a hard, or it's not, it's been challenging, right? To find like, okay, we have all these different little groups we're trying to please. It's interesting because we're creators at the center of it, creating for the creators. So it's we're coming at it from a standpoint of like we want our audience to have a really good time. We want our VIPs and our artists to feel really taken care of, and like we picked you and we want to show you we're celebrating you. And so that was another sort of angle to StreamFest is let's move forward in the way that storytelling is evolving. It's not just TV and film anymore. So we're watching podcasts on our phones, we're watching YouTube videos, we're listening to stories in our ears, we're binging shows on the weekends, we're watching a movie at night. So there are so many ways to consume story, and so we wanted to highlight and celebrate that. But also our program is pretty small as we grow, and we wanted everybody that's coming to know that they've already won just by getting in. We're celebrating the artists that we've chosen because we do have such a tight knit program.
Yeah.
I hope that answered your
And
question.
I'll add to that too on like just the experience wise. We've gone to some of the major festivals and it is so daunting. It's like we sit on Zoom calls before we go to like plan out what are we going to get and we sat for almost 3 hours trying to get tickets to go to, Sundance feature or films and things and we could hardly get into anything. It's just so hard. And so we're like, how do we make this easier for the consumer and let people be present? Because I am constantly end up on my phone on the app, like what bus do I need to get onto? Where am I going to next? So you're listening to a Q&A on stage, but really your mind's already being like, what do I need to get to next? And how quickly do I have to get across town to that theater? And it's hard to be present because we're, naturally having to plan our experience. And there's so many people who I think don't know that still to this day that film festivals are attainable. Like anyone can buy a ticket and go to a festival. And that is really like, so I talk to a lot of people who are like, oh, but I'm not in the industry. I'm like, you don't have to be in the industry. You can just be a pass holder and come and watch. I can. Yeah, you could just buy a ticket. Okay. And then there's, people like my parents who love to go to festivals, but it takes me actually being like, okay, mom, you're gonna go to this theater and then this theater and like trying to explain it all. So we're like, how do we simplify that? Like one theater, you walk in and you don't have to pick out what you're watching. We're curating the stage for you. It's a variety act of all the best things that are streaming and like not having to walk in a theater and watch an entire thing of just like drama blocks and you walking out just, depressed and crying because you watch these great films, but you have a comedian that comes up and loosens up the crowd. You watch a couple short films, you end with the pilot episode. We built in breaks too because you're starving all the time, but you don't want to go eat because you paid for these passes, so you don't want to miss anything. So you have that FOMO of like, I can't not go see this. And so when you built in these breaks for everybody to experience it's such an amazing thing when people are standing in line to get food or anywhere and anyone seeing a badge and you could have a conversation because you all just watched the same thing. Like that right there alone is just an incredible experience at our festival because it's not, oh, I missed that. Oh, I didn't get into that one. Oh, that looks so good. It is, oh my God, that was amazing. What'd you think of it? Because we all watched it together. So that's been something new and exciting. And last year, people were like, "Now I get it," and it's so exciting, and it worked because it just took the hard out of having to figure out what you're doing at the festival. Just show up. It starts at 10 o'clock, walk in the door, and the rest of the day is programmed for you, and you get to just come and have fun. Book your hotel, buy your ticket. That's all you have to do. Everything else is taken care of.
That's incredible. I can only imagine how much work goes into it on your end to be able to do that. So kudos for that.
Thank you.
Um, so what are some things that you are looking forward to this year at this year's event?
Ooh, a lot. But this year, I mean, TV legend Mariska Hargitay is like everyone's so stoked that she's coming. We're
Icon
honoring
Award.
her
Yeah.
with the Icon Award because she truly is an icon. So she's coming and doing a live on stage conversation with Scott Feinberg and the Hollywood Reporters Awards Chatter podcast. So that's exciting. We have a new experience this year called the Sabu Wellness Experience. Last year, Farron had this idea to do like a pop up dance party, viral dance party. And I was like, I'm just going to go rest in my hotel during that. She's like, no, you're not. And so she dragged me to the location and I was like, oh, this is cool. And we had a couple of content creators, influencers kind of lead it and do like these sing-alongs. And it was by far it was the most fun and a really prominent experience that I will remember. And so that taking from that, we were like, we want to do that, but on a bigger scale. And we want people to be able to see a late night film and not have to worry about an after party. So on Friday, we've incorporated a daytime party. We brought in Dr. Janelle Kim, who's an expert in qigong and Chinese medicine and wellness and sound baths and all the things. And she's launching what's called the Sabu experience. So it's movement, meditation, medicine all together. So that's really cool. They're going to be doing a panel. It'll be food, it'll be dance, it'll be movement. So something a little different than you would normally see at a festival, but there's so much storytelling within that. So that's exciting. We have Jonathan Scott, one of the Property Brothers, coming, and I know I'm kind of obsessed with home renovations and whatnot, and he's been doing so much after the Palisade fires and give back. So we're honoring him with our Social Impact Award. We've got some amazing films this year. If These Walls Could Rock, it's a documentary about the Sunset Marquee. So we've got legends, Chris Robinson coming and Nancy Wilson from Heart are coming with the film. We've
I
got
like
some
our
amazing
In the
content
Works
creators.
program. We did that
Yep.
last year. So a lot of film festivals do like pitch competitions. And this one's a little bit different. It's actual visual kind of pitch of just, a project that they're working on to either get to the finish line or maybe they already made it into a short and are trying to make it into the feature now. And so it gives them a nice little visual of a 2-minute trailer to play and then kind of tell the audience where they are in the process and what they're looking for and help wise to get it to the next level. And yeah, it worked really well last year, and a lot of people were interested in helping and trying to figure out, what to do with the next steps there. So we're excited. We've got 3 this year again, right? Yes.
Yeah, three. They play a trailer or like a little proof of where they're at, and then they'll have 3 minutes to sort of pitch where they're at in the project, what they're still looking for, and how people can support them. We also introduced a script competition this year, a short script. We called it the Big Short Script, and our mentorship is the Big Pivot. And so we are announcing the winner on stage. They get $10,000 and a couple of other really cool perks, like a new iPad, and Final Draft sponsored it, and so we are working with Script Anatomy on that. So that's exciting. And then directly after we announce the winner, we're going right into a live table read of the script. It's no more than 15 pages was the parameter, so that's going to be exciting because people get to experience like what a table read sounds like in a live format, and then there'll be a little Q&A with Script Anatomy and sort of talking about the scripting process. So we're excited about that. Yeah, I think those are some of the highlights. I mean, there's so much that we're looking forward to, but we're
We
also
still have a couple slots for our
a couple
talent that
slots
we
to
are
fill.
locking in
Yeah,
and should be hearing some other big names by the end of this week, hopefully, or by early next week. So
today.
some more announcements coming too.
I was gonna say some of the things. Geez, how much more do you have?
I know.
This is a lot, but no, that's excellent. That's a testament to the need for stuff like this. So,
Yeah.
Excited.
um, I have to ask about calling it a stream fest. Obviously, there's the connection with streaming and digital media and stuff like that. But with there being a Napa Valley Film Fest, why did you go with Napa Valley Stream Fest?
Just to, be different from all film festivals. Like the model of the film festival, it wasn't just creating another film festival, it was creating not only a new festival being open to the podcast, TV, film, social content, but like we explained earlier, it's a whole new model, one location. We're not, up and down valley in different locations and that type of thing. We're just creating something completely different. And streaming is something we all talk about all the time now, where everybody's streaming in a sense. And so that kind of was our word, and we kind of coined streamertainment is what we kind of call it. It's a little bit of all the things that we stream in entertainment world.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Um, so kind of with the evolution of storytelling, do you think film festivals are going to still exist in the way they do, or do you think that you started a trend and more events are going to move into this all-encompassing space?
We've already started to see it happen, and it's funny because so 2 years ago, summer of 24, we were planning, the development was already in the works, and I went to a big film festival mixer. It wasn't the festival, but it was a pre-mixer for the filmmakers. And I was talking to one of their lead programmers, and I was sharing kind of what we're doing. And my friend there was like, "Oh yeah, she's starting a festival. It's really cool. It's new. It's blah blah blah." And he's like, "Oh wow, that's cool." And then not, but the next, I don't know, probably right around the time we were launching, I hear, "Oh, this festival's incorporating podcasts. This festival." I was like, "Oh, so people are on they're starting to do the thing, and next year they'll be incorporating podcasts." And I thought that was interesting because there's, ATV, which is in Texas, right? The TV festival, which isn't open to the public. There's Series Fest, which is predominant series and shorts. There's Tribeca's the one, who's incorporated podcasts. We're seeing it kind of evolve. First, it was film only, and then it was like, oh, let's incorporate TV pilots and proof of concepts a little. Besides Proof, the festival for proof of concepts, there's really not much, and that was our problem. Was we went on the festival with a proof of concept, 29 minutes, me as the lead, Farron directing, so we didn't have a ton of money behind it. We didn't have a face or a quote unquote name behind it. And it was a proof of concept. But it was really hard to get into the bigger festivals because, of course, they're looking for those levels of celebrity or money or studio attachments. And so we were like, okay, well, then what about all the other creators? What about the viral TikTok, creators that are actors and storytellers and filmmakers? So we are seeing more of that shift. I think festivals typically bring content creators to cover the festival and to have them post about it because that's, marketing for them. And the one thing we're doing different is we're celebrating those content creators. So, yeah, it's great if you post, but we don't require that. We're not even asking that. We say we want to bring you and celebrate you and have you on stage, and you are the highlight. You are the conversation. We want to hear about the Amanda McCants behind, the Palisades mom facade that she has on Instagram. So we really are wanting to speak to the creators and the artists about their origin stories. So I do think, yes, we will start to see more of that as we grow. We're really happy to feel like we're one of the first because whenever we talk about this project, people are like, well, that's gotta be like, people do that, right? Like, it's, you guys aren't the first. And then we have to tell them like, no, there really isn't anything out there like what we're doing yet. But I don't think we'll be the only ones
And
for long.
even as these festivals start to incorporate it, they're never gonna have the same hospitality and luxury that we bring to Napa. And
That part.
also the intimacy, right? Like you can't take a Tribeca and just be like, guys, we're gonna go down to one theater now. It's not gonna,
Yeah.
it's not gonna happen. So the fact that we have created that as this luxury exclusive type, event that is manageable, one theater, 800 seats. That's what we have. When that's sold out, it's sold out. And that experience, I think, will continue to evolve. But for right now, that's what it is. And I think that will be cherished because people will understand when they get there and see that it's like so easy to navigate and you feel like summer camp because everyone's going to the same thing all day long together. You see the same people. So those relationships just continue to build all the way from Thursday to Sunday and you're just all together. And that is very magical. And I don't think anybody else can really, duplicate that, especially in a walkable downtown Napa. That's the plan is to always keep it where everybody can walk. And so for that, it's a buzz. It's fun.
Amazing. Yeah, no,
Might
we
take our concept, but you cannot take our Napa.
True.
um amazing, amazing. Um those were all the questions I had for you. I'm really excited for you to have a very successful second year, and I hope there's many more to come. Can you remind me of the dates? I know it's later in April, but that's
April 23rd through the 26th. And we did want to mention we are a nonprofit. We did start the StreamFest Society side of it, which is the nonprofit side, as a mentorship program for those that are 35 and above, pivoting into or within the entertainment industry. I was 42 years old when I directed my first project, and obviously trying to break into Hollywood a little bit later in life, or pivoting after producing and directing festivals for over, 20 years. It's that same knowledge and what I do and directing and producing, but in Hollywood, it's how many IMDb credits do you have, and what other projects have you done, versus being able to look at your overall experience and everything you've been able to achieve over the years. And so for that, it's really hard. And so with our mentorship program, we've brought on some amazing industry guests that can help. We have 8 mentees this year that, are all within the industry or pivoting within the industry. Maybe they've been doing something in one field and now they are trying to get into another field, or you've been an accountant your whole life and always wanted to get in the entertainment industry. And now, putting you as a line producer or figuring out something that works for you is the goal. And then in the fall to always be trying to shoot something that we can get our mentees on set and get that hands-on experience and their IMDb credit that they need. So,
that's incredible. Um, thank you so much for chatting.
yeah, thank
Um,
you.
Thanks, Beth.
Thanks, Beth.
Yeah,
sorry,
let us
I
know
thought
if
I
you want
had
to come
like
out.
another I was gonna ask about social media or like the website, but I'm like go to the website and stuff.
Napa Valley Stream Fest
Oh,
everywhere,
across, yeah, everywhere.
Oh,
all channels and platforms.